Hello everybody, Eddie here, and again we're doing another podcast extra highlight, volume 3 now. We're getting there. I'm almost at the end of my holiday break, and oh my god, it's it's been manic. Just to let you know, I've not had a wink of sleep, if I'm honest. I've really been burning the midnight oil on everything because I'm trying to catch up with a lot of things in life at the moment. I'm about to go to VeeCon as this podcast goes. Literally, I think as this podcast goes out, I'm at the airport about to fly off to VeeCon. So wish me luck, guys. So just to bring you up, so basically I've been bringing you highlights of the podcast extras that I've been recording behind the Patreon wall. Hopefully that gives you an incentive to listen to them. If not, at least it gives you some idea of what gets spoken behind these podcast extras. So this week we are listening to the podcast extra of How We Ruin Cosplay, but actually we talk about like future cosplays that my guests are wearing, and maybe one other person who's not really technically a cosplayer. Dun dun dun. That's with Oscar from Oscar Luna and Kitty from Kitty Cosplay. And then the next part we'll be talking about should we worry about AI, and we talk more about this generative AI business. That's more and more people talk about it. We really go in depth with that. That's with Alex from Natashka Cosplay, and then with Kevin. That's it, Kev from Kevin Pack Photography. We had a really interesting conversation about that. And then the final part we talk about is this. The thing we called it is this photo gimmicky, and that was a good podcast. That was with Chapman from LP Photography and Siobhan from Shield Photography, and we were talking about actually locations where we shoot around, or we'd like to shoot, or we'd like to advise people where to shoot around the UK. So I hope you guys enjoy this volume. Next week's episode, or the next episode, depending on how you listen to this podcast, we'll be back to our regular formatted, recorded, new podcast. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. Shall I give you a little taste of it? Basically, yeah, I'm going to give you a little taste of it. It's the Am I Wrong series. I'm bringing it back. I hope you enjoy that, and hopefully something to what's the word? I don't know what the word is at the moment because I'm so tired. I really want to sleep. So on that note, I'm going to let you listen to the podcast, and I'll catch you next week. Bye, guys.
I absolutely love hearing about when people come back from Comic-Con and they're always talking about all the horrible stuff from Comic-Con. Like, for example, I didn't go to May Comic-Con and I heard there was tons of drama about it. So I was instantly like, oh, give me the drama, give me the gossip.
I don't know what happened with May, because I came back from May like, oh, that was fantastic. I had a great time.
We're the only two that enjoyed Comic-Con. Everyone else went, oh my god, what a fucking
like
shit show.
And I was stupid enough to be inside the hall the Saturday, so like I'm surprised I had a good time.
Yeah, and you wore a fucking bell dress.
Ball gown, my Kirby ball gown.
Bell esque. But not Belle as in Beauty and the Beast Belle. But I'm talking about like Southern Belle. Oh my! Yeah. Oh, good lord, good sir.
Yeah, I was a little bit crazy.
Go on.
It comes from that I go to have fun, and I have fun no matter what. I ruined someone's day though because I bought all of the Pokemon cards of Crown Zenith from Magic Madhouse at 9 a.m. on the Saturday. Literally walked up, I was like, I'll take every pack, and the person next to me was like, do you have any left? I'm like, no, she bought them all. I was just like, my £200 worth of Pokemon cards.
Fucking hell, Jesus.
And I was like, oh, sorry, I ruined that person's day.
Oh god. So what I want to talk is I want to talk about cosplay in general, because I have been saying this for months now, and I really need to pull my finger out that I said I was going to cosplay Wong from the MCU, and I actually need to do it now. I'm starting to see something called money now in my bank account.
Ooh, what is this? I've not heard of this thing. Money?
Money? Oh, no. I heard it's a way of exchanging goods for currency. But yeah, so I kind of want to hear like, so Catherine, you said you're going back in October. We'd love to hear your cosplay plans, but then I fear that I know what your cosplay plans are because you cosplay a cycle of 5 cosplays in rotation. So
I
we'll put a pin in that a little bit. But Luna, what about yourself? Are you recycling a cosplay? Or are you making a new cosplay?
So I've gotten to that point where I am too old to make a cosplay for every single day of the event. So
Oh,
I always recycle one. So October I will probably use Rani again, because her 10-foot hat is a fantastic tool for getting personal space. And then I'm planning on making one new cosplay, if I have the time and money and haven't spent it all on Pokemon cards.
what? Was this the thing you were talking about earlier? I think we were talking about in the green room about you buying. You were just
Oh, the ridiculous Lord of the Rings sets. And I'm sat here right now looking at somewhere where I can get a box for £315 going, that's not even that bad. Like,
oh,
I am an impulse spender. I'm really, really bad for it.
no. That's why there's no money in my account. Every time I see money in my account, I go, oh, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this.
But the problem is, like, I make profit from these things. Like, I don't tend to keep the expensive cards. I sell them on because I'm like, well, I can make a deck with the rest of them. Just sell the big hitters. And every time I make a profit, I'm like, well, I could buy another box.
Jesus
I have a
Christ.
problem.
Oh, yes, you do have a problem. Jesus Christ. Oh God, Catherine, what about you? Are you okay? Hang on.
yeah, you guess my lineup. You guess it, bro.
If you're doing 3 days, one of them's going to be Squirrel Girl.
Bingo.
I'm going to go with Spider-Man or Mary Jane, what the spider outfit.
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay, all right, that's okay. Okay, that's one miss.
You get 2 misses.
Are you going to do the dog?
Yes, bingo.
You better explain what the dog one is, because Luna might even go, what the fuck is going on?
It is Pachita from Chainsaw Man. It's just the most comfiest cosplay ever, and I just get to eat a loaf of bread throughout the entire day of Comic Con, and I love
amazing.
it. I'm just forever eating bread.
My brain didn't go to that dog by default, by the way. My brain went to the dog from FMA, which haunts people's nightmares.
FMA?
Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh.
And his face has just gone, no. Yeah, I know people that cosplay that. That's immediately what I think when everyone says I'm cosplaying a dog. It's just like, that's mean.
Again, if you don't know Full Metal Alchemist and you want to know what that dog reference is, don't. Just
no,
don't.
scar you. Don't do it.
It will absolutely scar you 100%. I'm trying to check something. Did you say Pachita?
Yeah, Pachita of Chainsaw Man. It's like it's a chainsaw devil.
Oh, no, I know. Yeah. When the day the podcast goes out, that's why I'm showing that picture. No, wait, no. There's something else going out this Wednesday. Relative to this podcast being recorded in about 2 weeks from now. So not this Wednesday, the following Wednesday, that's when your pitch... No. Oh, shit. So when this has gone out, last week Wednesday's gone out. There you go. It's in my queue.
There's me eating bread.
There we go. There we go. So
I love it.
Again, for the guests here, they can see the picture. You'll see it. You've already seen it. It's fine. Okay, so that's 2. Are you doing 3 unique cosplays, or are you going to repeat one?
Yeah, and the third one's going to be a new one.
Oh, new one. Oh, what?
I know.
What?
I'm spending money. It's a really simple cosplay, and I don't think anyone is going to get it. But I don't care because I love it.
Yeah,
I recently watched Arrietty, Studio Ghibli.
Yay! Love that film.
And this is like the little girl. She's like a borrower, and yeah, I'm going to be Arrietty from Studio Ghibli. It's a super easy cosplay, and it has a bag, and I just get to carry a big sugar cube around all day.
That's amazing.
I don't even know why you're carrying a sugar, because to me that's just normal for you. Oh,
I'll just change the Meeseeks box into a sugar cube.
I've always had a small part of me that wants to cosplay. Like, I think, especially during the pandemic, this need crept in a lot more. So I was going to do, I might still do, but Jimmy Woo, he's in Ant-Man 2.
Yeah.
One Division. He's in Ant-Man 3 for literally one scene. And he's basically the FBI guy who's like, what's the best way to describe him? He's not an
He's
idiot.
the most beloved character of the Marvel
He's
universe.
beloved. He's so down to earth and just such a human character. I think it's funny as well. And oh god, who cosplays him? I know it. Damn it! Oh god, that's bad by me. Jimmy Woo, actor, actor. Played by Randall Park. God, I can't believe I had to Google that. Yes, my friend actually printed out an actual FBI card so that I could put it on my suit and things like that.
Yeah.
But I swear I get so anxious about wearing cosplay, and because I don't know why I feel like such a fraud. I feel like everyone's looking at me, and I don't know how you get. Do you get over that sensation? I mean, do you get the sensation that everyone's looking at you?
I think you get over it to a sense, but you always get that kind of what's that? The guilt where it's called something where you think you don't deserve to be in that community, even though you are part of that community.
Imposter syndrome.
That's it, imposter syndrome. I don't think anyone ever really truly gets over that, but it just gets easier to cope with it.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it's almost like exposure therapy. The more you do it, the more you're used to it.
Yeah.
So my other half is considering cosplay, but he's very much like, but I don't want my photo taken.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, bless you. Like, okay, maybe we'll give you a cosplay with your face covered because that might make it easier. But I think for some people, they struggle to get over the aspect of, oh, well, maybe people will see me as attention seeking because I'm going there to get my photo taken, and then they get really disappointed when they don't get photos taken because they're cosplaying something really obscure. And my second year of the convention, I cosplayed Ranker from Macross Frontier, but only one outfit that she used for like 5 minutes in the movie. One person recognized the entire event, and I was heartbroken at the end of it that no one recognized me. The only photos I have of that, it was photos that my brother took for me at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Never to get over it.
Hang on. Can I just quickly check something? You're upset no one recognized a character dress you've admitted was only on screen for 5 minutes.
You'd be surprised at people that get really upset by it, though.
But you
I was
it's like
2 years into this thing. Like,
it's like saying no one recognized me appearing on the news, not like that, on the Shang-Chi premiere. No one. Why didn't anyone recognize me? Huh?
But those characters that people love that get killed in the first episode and then aren't seen for the rest of the series.
Yeah.
Like Vegeta!
People that fall in love with that character, and then it isn't like a massively popular character, and then they cosplay it, and they're expecting to be loved because they're cosplaying something that others aren't. Get a level of disappointment from it, and it's not until you realize that actually you're cosplaying the character for you and not for everybody else.
Yes, I was just about to say that. I was just about to say that to you. Like, ask, would you cosplay that again because it's something you love, or because would you not cosplay it because you didn't get any photos?
No, I'd cosplay it again. Like, I'm currently looking at Isadora from Blasphemous. Right now, this is a 2D pixel art game that no one is going to know what it's from. But I love the design so much that I'm just like, I am cosplaying it. This bitch has a giant fucking scythe, and she has got filigree all over the skirt, and it's another ball gown. I'm on it.
That's what I'm worried about. That's what I'm worried about with like Arietti. I'm just like, I know I'm gonna love doing it, and I don't really care if no one gets it because I love doing it. But I still want a few photos, just like evidence that I did it.
Oh no! The Ghibli community is massive. They love Arietti, like that giant sewing needle and like the cute dress on it. It's so good.
I need to Google this to see what this character looks like.
You do.
Yeah. I going back to your point about getting photos. I think I really would retch when people try to ask my photo, because I again, even though I tell other cosplayers you should have at least 2 or 3 poses. I think I'd be so camera shy in front of the camera. I don't know what to do. Oh my god, what's going on?
I don't know. I think after like your third kind of like shoot, I think you'd fall into it because you just become the character. Like you aren't Eddie anymore. You are that character for that minute while you're posing. And I think you would just go, oh, okay, I have this thing I can use as a prop. I can pose this because I want to show the back of the cosplay. Yeah. I think you'd be fine. And, so many people love you and would pose you and shout and laugh at you. In a nice way.
No, yeah. Well, that's another thing I worry about, is being laughed at as well. But, yeah. I mean, you probably both don't know. Do you know that I've cosplayed before, right?
I feel like you've mentioned it, but I don't really remember what it was you cosplayed.
So you were talking about like telling your boyfriend about cosplay. I'll just wear a mask. Find a character that has a mask. Yeah, I did that. I literally found a cosplay that covered my face, and no one knew it was me under the mask. So it is. So even if I told you, you can't prove it's me. That's okay. That is the reason why I did it that way. So yeah. I did it. I keep saying the story, but basically, I just wanted to know what it's like to be a cosplayer for a day, and damn, I understand like a lot, like 90% of why people cosplay, because it is exhilarating, but also just so nerve-wracking at the same time. It's just like, yeah,
it is.
Yeah, I've con crunched as well, and I failed badly, so I postponed it to another event. So yeah, I understand completely. I've just realised you can see my undies.
Yeah.
They're my.
You only just figured it out.
Yeah. They're on that this is not promotion. I'm not getting paid for it. It's on that undies subscription thing. So yeah,
Ooh.
I was running out of underwear, and I thought, oh, free undies, sure, I'll sign up. And I forgot to cancel every sort. And then I would sign back up again, because I said, you can get an extra free one if you re-sign up. Oh, I like free stuff. I've learned now to ignore those emails now, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dear Lord. But anyway, no, I'm petrified. I've put a date for December now. December, MCM Birmingham.
I'm hopefully going to be tabling, so you have to come see my table.
Oh yeah, I'll see your table. Just hopefully you're not there. I joke. Yes, no, I think I got Charlotte Warwich, who says she does Doctor Strange. So we're going to do it as a duo. Hopefully I can convince her to do it on the Friday, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
That's exciting.
Thank you. Actually, I don't even have got a hotel for that yet. I need to check with my friend. Yeah, I need to do that. So, yeah. Anyway, we were saying about favorite locations, and we'll talk about where we shot. And I think because I came up with this idea, I'm going to go first. And I think it's going to be no surprise when I mention this studio in Stockport, Manchester, Montrose Studio. I fucking love that place. I've not been to many studios around the country. I think I've been to one in Nottingham. I think it's called Bodyline.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you know? Porno's been shot there?
That doesn't surprise me. There is like a sex dungeon.
There is literally a sex dungeon, and again, we were saying it we're kink inclusive, not kink shaming, and unless you're into shaming, but that's another. I was going to say another podcast, not this podcast. Next time on It Talks About Kink Inclusive, kinky stuff.
Ed After Hours.
But no, I was just saying, it's all right, that studio, but I think what it lacks for me is assistance and help and then some lights as well. Whereas Montrose Studio, if you're an amateur photographer, they will provide lights for you, and they may be able to help you as well.
Bodyline does.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh.
They do for me.
Maybe they just don't like me.
I mean, I was shooting there once, and the guy was like, "Oh, that's really good. It looks like a professional shot." And I was like, "Yeah, probably because it's my job." And he was like, "Oh." I was like,
Yeah. Fuck you.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. But no, I've had lights there. We got given lights.
Oh, that's fair enough. No,
I got to use a really big one. It was awesome.
Yeah, I just think the sets used in Montrose are just better at Bodyline. But it depends on what type of sets you're looking for. Maybe I should go back there and give it a try, Bodyline in Nottingham. But the one in Stockport is just my favourite. But I love, because Siobhan, you've shot there. Chapman, I haven't actually invited you as of yet. So I probably should do one day soon.
Which one, Nottingham or Stockport?
Stockport. Unless you want to shoot porn with me, that's great.
No, thank you.
Not even hesitation, just no.
Just no.
Not with Eddie.
Yeah.
I keep my body fluids inside me, ish.
Ew.
No, you don't.
That was an image I didn't need.
I'm so glad Nick doesn't do the quotes for this podcast. I just don't want it because I said something in the last podcast extra, which I went, "Oh god, that's gonna come back to haunt me one of these days." But no, that's one of the places. But when I'm in London, I think the one place I love to shoot there, but I have to be very careful how often I go back there, is Leek Street, which is a graffiti tunnel, which is under Waterloo Station.
Same.
Because again, going back on the gimmicky thing, I probably should have said this on the main podcast, but I don't want to be seen shooting in the same location time and time again. It's the same reason about the Grey Walls. If I keep shooting down there and it doesn't make sense, then it'll just look gimmicky. It will just look very amateur and gimmicky. So I look at the person and go, right, I will shoot this cosplay here because it fits, it works well, and things like that. Another place that's really good to shoot in, but you've got to be very careful because security will be on your heels the moment they sniff that it's a professional shoot. But I have gotten away with this phrase. I'm a student photographer. It's for a student project. Anyway,
Was this the one I was helping with?
Probably.
Oh
yes.
god.
This is at Canary Wharf area. Canary Wharf. So there's because technically the Canary Wharf area is private land. So
I got told off at Canary.
So they can turf you off. But I was there quite recently with for my other branding, my HKC website, which I still have yet to edit those photos, which I need to do soon. But it was behind a paywall. Fuck it. I shot there on a Sunday and there was no one about to tell me off. So there's a sky garden that you can shoot in. There's a really nice. They've now converted that tunnel to be like really geometrically coloured lights, and it looks so cool there. And then underneath there's some nice areas to shoot in as well. And it's really interesting that the way I took those photos could look like 4 completely different areas. But it's actually one location. I
love it when that happens.
I just love when I do it. So those are like places I definitely like to shoot in time and time again because it's easy for me because I know those areas. But again, I have that caveat of I don't want to be shooting every model cosplayer in those 3 the same location time and time again.
You'll just get bored of it.
Exactly it. I that's how my brain works. I get so bored with doing the same thing over and over. This is why I can't understand. I know I keep bringing it up, and I know one of these days someone's going to say, "Shut the fuck up, Ed. Stop talking about the Grey Walls." But those photographers who literally beach themselves in front of that grey, I'm surprised they don't get bored. I'm surprised.
You could always change it up. You could bring a green screen.
Oh, don't get me started on that. Oh god. Oh no. Oh god, no. Yeah, just no. No, oh god, no. Oh god, I feel awful. Yeah, but no, I've got more, but I want to hear other people's like either thoughts of where I've shot and like if there's any questions, or everyone then starts chiming in with their locations.
Siobhan, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I can do. It's no secret that I shoot in my local woodland a lot. And probably if you've seen any of the like photos in woods, it's the same forest. And that's Burnham Beeches, which is located sort of Buckinghamshire way.
Is this the one that you mentioned in the main podcast?
It's not, no.
Oh, okay, and carry on then.
Yeah, that will die with me. No, it's fine. But yeah, it's like 10 minutes away from me. It's nice and easy. Yeah. The rangers literally just wave as we go past. They're like, okay, bye. But it's massive and you just get lost there. So it's nice.
Okay then. Do you try to vary up either the location within the forest, or do you only shoot there like once or twice a year so that you can just keep it fresh in your mind that it's not always the same location all the time?
No, I enjoy it. Like people will say, "Oh, I want to shoot in the woodland." I'm like, "Yes, I know the perfect place," because there's so many different variations there as well that would suit. So there's like the big wide open like fields. There's really overgrown fern undergrowths. There's like fallen trees that I know of that would work for certain costumes. Like I've shot there recently with a Lordner from Critical Role, and underneath this fallen tree, it's all flooded, so it's all water underneath. But I've also shot there like 2 years previously with Sally from Nightmare for Christmas, and it's the same tree. It's just there's no water, and it's from a different angle because I couldn't get to the previous angle because of the water. But it still looks cool.
Fair
People
enough.
don't realize it's the same place.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm like, same tree, different angle.
Yeah, no,
Now flooded.
I think I love that about photography. That I love the challenge of making a location that could, you've used so many times, but it looks so different each time, and people just go, "Oh, that's interesting. That's cool."
Mm.
So yeah. Any other locations before we move to Chapman?
I think that's the main one I use.
Mm,
Like you always see me there.
yeah. What about you, Chapman? Any location?
Oh.
Anything you want to ask about these places, or any location you use?
Well, do I have a list for you? Yeah, so there's quite a few places I shoot. So in London, Leak Streak's always my go-to. Well, because I do esports photography on the side, it's always a nice location to shoot. It's just make sure security doesn't catch you. That's the problem. Because if security gets wind that you're doing anything that is quite professional, they will come at you, and I mean come at you. And they'll go like, "Oh, you need to have certain forms filled in. You need to pay a fee, etc., etc., etc."
This is at Leak Street.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I've never had that. Never.
Yeah, you have to be very careful because, like, I was using lights and all that, but I had people carry the lights rather than like light stands and all that. There's times I've used a light stand and it was like completely fine, but there was times where I didn't have. I just had people carrying lights and they saw flashes like, "Oh no, you can't do this here."
Oh, okay then. I think I've had lights in there before. I'm sure I have. Okay then. All right. Then.
Yeah, so you've got to be very careful of that. The few other places I like to shoot. So sticking to London, if you go to St. Paul's, there's a very specific alleyway in the shopping centre which you could take, which is a perfect photo of St. Paul's Cathedral, and because of the glass, it reflects St. Paul's Cathedral exactly, which is always
nice.
good for a fashion shoot. I'll ping you a photo, or I'll just share this document to you guys. Like I don't care. This is my document of photo shoot locations I've used, I shot with, and like how amazing it is. South Bank Skate Park is another good location I like to shoot.
Oh
It's
yeah,
hard.
I've shot there. That's good.
Yeah, it's hard to get it empty, but when you find like a little area where you could use, it's a great location, nice graffiti and all that. And then like I use Brick Lane actually. Brick Lane when Leak Street isn't available because Brick Lane is a nice graffiti area as well. There's Leadenhall Market. I don't know how.
Yeah.
I've seen
heard
quite a
people
few
get in
people
trouble
shoot there.
there.
Oh yeah. So you have to be very cautious when you shoot. So I would say avoid cosplay, but fashion, if you're very careful, you're fine because it just looks like you're a random stranger taking photos.
With a professional DSLR camera.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say the word professional, but just a DSLR camera. Because everyone says
With an expensive camera.
expensive
Yeah.
camera. Yes. Because I love when people say that. Oh, you've got such a professional setup. But it's just a camera. Anyone can buy a camera. Well, I say anyone. If you've got like $2-3 grand, yeah, anyone can buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's Prospect of Whitby. I don't know if you know this. If you go to Wapping Station, and you go to a pub called Prospect of Whitby, right beside it is a staircase. That staircase leads you to the Thames River, the sandy bank of where you could shoot underneath some.
I think I've seen this place. Carry on. So carry on. You carry on. So I'm getting very excited.
Yeah.
You carry on.
You could shoot underneath like this concrete pier, or if you angle it right, you could shoot and see Canary Wharf or most of London. Then there's Alexandra and Ainsworth Estate. Don't know if you know about that.
Yeah.
But it's like some very futuristic estates.
Yeah, I was looking at that recently. for a
Yeah.
like cyberpunk kind of shoot.
Yep. So these are kind of like places I've shot in London. Whereas outside of London, there's this place very close to me I've been to. I really want to shoot. It's called the Cherry Hinton Chalk Pits. So if you watched any sort of Power Ranger or any kind of like Tokukatsu or Tokusatsu Sentai kind of shows where they fight in this like quarry,
Oh
chalk
yeah.
pits is essentially it. But it also includes like this really nice woody area, kind of like comes from like it looks like it's from The Hobbit,
Mm.
and
Ooh.
so it's a very nice area, and not many people know about it, and it's kind of like very local to Cambridge. So it's hard to get people up here to do a shoot, but if I can, it will be an amazing place to shoot.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's cool. No, that's fine. If you don't mind me butting in, there's one place that just came to me, which I kind of want to get some people's feedback, but it's too late because I've already shot here a couple of times. Has everyone shot in the graveyard at Earl's Court?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so if have you seen Benedict Cumberbatch's Sherlock?
Yep.
You know
Yep.
when they did the episode of like actual Arthur Conan Doyle era Sherlock?
Mm-hmm.
You know when they go to a graveyard and they open it up and they... Oh no, is it that version? Or am I thinking
Yeah,
of...
it's literally like the first episode, isn't it? When they're like digging up the grave.
I'm trying to think, is it that one or is it Robert Downey Jr. version of it? But basically, that graveyard, that's Earl's Court, and there's
Yeah.
a really nice like semicircle of arches. It's all like stone brick things. And I did that with I did a latex model shoot for my alternative blog down there last year. But I always find it really, as much as like architecturalized, it's really nice. At the same token, I found it really icky shooting in a graveyard because it's like there's dead people here. I feel very disrespectful, disturbing their peace. I know the
Yeah.
dead. I know the dead can't talk, but I mean, in my head, it's like this is their place of rest, not for people to go, "Hey, take a selfie right here," that type of thing.
Yeah, there is a weird kind of line that you can kind of cross.
Mm.
But...
Well, for me, I feel like as long as I'm not disrespecting them and I'm not on the graves itself, like I'm using the areas around it, I feel it should be fine.
Oh yeah, if they're sat on the grave, it's like that.
Yeah, that's a little iffy. But if like, oh, this is an archway that just it's like people walk through this, I'm gonna use this for a photo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no issues.
Having said that, I have shot in different graveyards, and the way I felt more comfortable having the graves in shot is I edited out the names.
Oh yeah,
So I took
100%.
took names off the stones. So I'm scrolling through my Instagram, going, "Where have I shot? Like, what locations have I used?"
Oh, I've got a very nice arcade if you're interested.
Oh, I do want to. I know you've invited me to that, so I do want to
Yeah.
shoot there.
Did you see the arcade Lydia and Nat were shooting at?
No.
It's called SN64 or something. It's up in Scotland.
Yeah, that's the reason why I've not gone and looked it up. But
Oxford wise, I use Minister Lovell Hall quite a lot, which is an old church ruin. Which is lovely.
Is that the one when we did the I don't know. Have you been? Yeah, no, wait. Is that the one when we did the your favorite cosplay photos? We did that chat. Have you been on that episode?
Yeah, I've been on I can't remember what I chose though.
But I think okay. Don't worry about it then. No, carry on.
I did a lot of Halloween stuff around there.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what was done there. It was, I think, something from Quasimodo. If it's, what's her name? Or was it not you?
That's not me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I know it was Acoustica then. Whoops, sorry. I'm going to shut up now.
The other female talk.
Oh, that female photographer. Yeah.
This is this female talk.
Oh, Eddie.
I know. I'm trying to think other places I shoot regularly.
I'm shot outside the big library in Oxford. Like outside. It's a very sort of old building. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah,
top of my head. I just walk there automatically. I'm like, I know where this is. And there's a really nice old sort of British alleyway that's all cobbled and high walls, which is quite lovely.
Oh, that's good. That's
If you're looking for cobbled walls, if you go to Liverpool Street,
Mm-hmm.
right behind Spitalfields, towards the building called Spittle Square, there's I believe cobbled roads, Victorian roads. They filmed a lot of like Victorian shows there.
Noted.
I've done a steampunk Mercy photo shoot around there before. It looked quite
Nice.
nice. I put in a few photos of the arcade itself, but I know the person that's managing this, so I've been given the permission to shoot there. But this is Gravity. It's at Wandsworth.
Oh,
no.
that looks cool.
Oh, was this in the chat? Sorry, I'm going for my what's it called? My Instagram, but stupidly I put it into a mode where it's gone to battery saver mode, so it's killed a lot of apps. So I have to,
Oh,
yeah. Oh yeah. Just yeah. I need. Hate you. Trying to think where else have I shot. I tend to shoot also from like when I go, people say, "Oh, let's do a location shoot." I just say, "Well, where do you live? Let's shoot near you," because that way it's more comfortable for them to like shoot in that location.
Mm. I've
Uh,
shot outside Waddesdon Manor. And
where's
they were
that?
pretty, sort of, God, it's north of me. I don't know.
Everything's north of me. Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm
We did get permission from them,
yeah.
but they were all really chill, and obviously you can't go inside the house. But,
Mm,
but it's a
yeah.
bigger state home.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I'll tell you something recently. So I mentioned this in the main podcast, but I shot in Kew Gardens.
ooh.
As long as you pay to get
nice.
in and don't disturb the features, you can shoot there. You can shoot there. Oh, that's weird. I don't know if you set up lights and things like that. They might go, this looks like a professional shoot. You might need a license for it. But I think because it was people in costume and it was just me holding a DSLR camera. Sorry, an expensive DSLR camera. People assumed that it's just people having fun. So that was fun and fair. Yeah.
Yeah. I posted another one. That is actually Hyde Park. If you look carefully in Hyde Park, there's a little fenced area, which is like a nice water feature in there, where you can go in.
I know what
Yeah.
that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I haven't shot
Anyone
in
who
Hyde
see,
Park in so long. I used to shoot there all the time.
they're very iffy if you have light stands and all that. So it's a lot of natural light.
Yeah, I feel like this needs to be a. I've already done a location shoot podcast, but it feels like another podcast about like making sure you don't like piss off the local area people and things like that. So just because you do, because there's one thing I would love to shoot is again, this has nothing to do with cosplay photography, but for my other branding, I would love to shoot what was I thinking? Where am I thinking? Oh yeah,
Latex.
the underground. I love to shoot on the under. I think there's some lovely architecture in
Yeah.
the underground.
Oh yeah.
But I was looking at their website. You do need a permission and a license,
Yep.
and you need to pay them. I don't think it's that bad. But I'll tell you another place I love to shoot. It's a neon place. I think it's called Neon Dream Studio. It's in West London. That's on my list of places to shoot, which is very affordable. And I'm going to leave it at that, just in case my other guys go. But what about? No, shut up. But no, yeah, Neon Dream Studio, I think it's called. Actually, let's see if I can find it on the Instagram. That's because I've seen some other. I think what's his K Magsy. He shot there before, and it's like kind of like yeah, Neon Dream Studio. That seemed to be. Oh, what's the other one? Let's go find it. Let me go find it. Need to go to an actual cosplayer's account. All right, here we go. Right, because I think they're affiliated with them, so that's why I know they would be able to tell me.
Oh, there's a place I've shot before which is quite nice. It's in the document I sent you guys. But if you go across the river from Big Ben, there's this little tunnel which you could go into. It's next to the bridge. You get it's like a nice frame shot of Big Ben, which you could put a cosplayer in between. It
Ooh,
works so much better in monochrome or when it's raining and you get a reflection.
nice. Love a good reflection.
You can't go wrong with a reflection shot. Love it.
Oh, I've got to pick up my reflection stuff again.
There is a place in London. Oh God, can I remember where it is? Where there's the pink. There's like a row of houses in all different colours, and one of them is pink. That one's quite good.
Oh yeah, that's in my document. That's what's it called?
I can't remember what it's called.
I wrote it in the document. It's Neil's Yard.
That's it.
Oh yeah, I've shot there. I've shot there with
Yeah.
Part of my alternative photography.
I've shot there before.
I want to say this other place is called Splash. I think it's on my Facebook. I'm sorry, I'm still looking. Splash. This is somewhere in North Wales, I think. And I can't spell Splash for some. Splash Point Flash Point Photo Photography Studio. I'm sure that is
That's
it.
a mouthful.
Yeah, I know, right? So yeah, where are they based? That's another place I would love to shoot at. It's another studio, but it's just very far away from. Yeah, North Wales. It says here. Just go Google it. You'll find it.
I've done some
road trip,
fashion
Eddie?
stuff around Covent Garden. That was quite nice.
Covent Garden.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've done. Yeah, so
Long time ago.
So basically, this is a work colleague who said, "Look, I'm about to fly back to my home country. I know you're a bit of a photographer. Would you mind shooting some photos?" And we just literally did a walk around London. So there's I think is it Seven Dials? There's a metal or mirrored tunnel which is really good to shoot in. That's quite nice. That's where that Neil's Yard is nearby that as well. Covent Garden I shot there. So yeah, I think what I'd like to take away from this is that there are really nice places to shoot both at a location and in studios, but you've just got to you've got to really be very inventive and very, very flexible about how you could shoot in certain places.
Mm.
Yeah. I think there are some people who just find it who are quite inflexible about shooting in certain locations. I think, although they just get too comfortable, and this is why I say I go to the cosplayers or the models. What's it called? Their location, their homes, because I see a different part of the country and go, oh wow, this is a good place to shoot. If I'm ever in this area, I'll shoot here. I never really go back because I'm like, a creature of habit. I just tend to stay where I know and shoot before. So yeah.
There's two places I really want to shoot, so I'll just name drop in here.
Yeah.
One is the staircase at the St. Pancras Renaissance Hotel.
Ooh.
I don't know if you guys seen that, but it's a very grand staircase. It's kind of like, if you think it'll be something like from Beauty and the Beast, or like it's the Titanic's grand staircase. Something very nice and similar to that. And the other is called Clash-Nessie Falls. It's all the way up in Scotland. It's literally at the brim of Scotland. But if you look at it or Google it, Clash-Nessie Falls, it's a great place to look. It's an actual waterfall you could get quite close to. And it's like the way it's staggered. Yeah. It's really nice. So if you're in Scotland and you want to shoot with me, let me know. I'm up for shooting at Clash-Nessie Falls.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to steal Charlotte Walsh's catchphrase. I mean, hire me if you want to shoot with me. That was a really serious podcast. I did feel like, oh my god, I've not made many jokes within this podcast, and like, oh my goodness, I don't know how people like gonna take this podcast. Like even the planes are coming across now. Like, I'm gonna ruin your podcast. I'm going, oh whatever, fuck off. But
I've got to say, with all the different podcasts I've been involved with yourself, I think this is the hardest one because at the end of the day, we really don't know where this is going.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I know, and that's why I said it's going to be an ongoing conversation. I can see this forever being an ongoing conversation because it will. I think those goalposts will change from time to time.
I think it's a lot of everybody getting really excited about it now, but I can see it kind of filtering off a little bit because it just feels like it's suddenly exploded out of nowhere. And like everybody's talking about it, like literally somebody at work who is not the average like AI user has gotten really into ChatGPT.
Oh, really?
They just keep sending like an email being like, oh, here's like a rough guide. I kind of generated it on ChatGPT as a to get ideas. Like they just use it to bounce ideas off. which is really sweet. Like, it works really well. But it's just interesting how they've gotten into it from what they've seen in the news and from what people have been saying. But I don't know why I've got this feeling that it will kind of die down, and it will then be this tool that we have, and it will be just a part of normal life, but it won't be any different to, say, Photoshop. Like, yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think I'm hoping that's the future it becomes, but I can see. I probably should have said this in the main podcast. I can see some opportunistic people using generative AI in any forms, and just take it that one step too far, even two steps too far, and then we'll go, why did we not see this coming? That will happen, but I'm worried what?
I'm worried because, which is what I was trying to allude to in the main podcast. There's a lot of weird people out there. I know models that have now got managers to manage their messaging accounts because of all weird crap they get sent message-wise. Like, I want photos of your feet and stuff like that,
Oh, I get all sorts. And I'm just a cosplayer. Like,
can you wear this out? Do such and such, and I can see that it won't take too much effort for people to say, I want to see X doing this in this outfit, and it'll just generate images for them, and that's scary.
That's what worries me, is like, I feel like people know me for doing Black Widow. They know me for doing characters who are usually seen in a bit more of a light like that. So it's like, what is stopping somebody from doing that,
Well, exactly. Nothing, apart from the fact that, if they posted it, they'd get called out on it, but they probably wouldn't even post it.
Yeah. No, 100%. And that's, we hope it will be used in responsible ways, but there's always going to be that one person who will take it one step too far and things like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to talk about how I've been using Photoshop Beta for the MTM photos that I'm editing, because like I said, I've done. I think I was surprised how much I used it in the first instant, because, like I said, the main podcast, I circled a couple of people, hit remove, and bam, it just went, whoa. I've seen examples of it online through like TikTok videos and things like that, but because those are short form videos, I think, that's done. They sped it up somehow. You don't think it's gonna be that quick, and yet when I saw it in firsthand, I'm like, oh, it is that easy, it's that quick, and it's quite good. It's like, I think you'd be very hard to distinguish if generative AI has been used to fill out those gaps.
But the thing is, this is only an extra step on what you would be doing with content-aware fill. So now, rather than just replace it, trying to work out what it's going to do with a background when you're doing content-aware fill, you're telling it what you want to do with a background. Yeah. So rather than it trying to, what it was doing previously was it was analysing the image and then working out what to fill in the selection with. Whereas now you're saying that particular selection I want to fill in with X. Yeah. So it is literally just a little step further than what we're for what you're doing than what we were doing previously. So rather than having to select people and then ask it to do a sort of content aware fill, or drawing in your own background and creating your own background from other images, which is quite often what we do. You're just instructing the computer to do it itself. So I don't think it's just automating processes which you could do.
Absolutely.
If that's what you're doing, using it to tidy up backgrounds and things.
Yeah, and it's quite interesting you talk about content aware, because I used content aware previously a lot, and I thought, do you know what? I'll try this first picture, and I went, okay, I want to see how content aware would have dealt with that against generative AI within the same program. It did abysmally. It really just it just went, nope, can't deal with it. It's like, how, in a sense, in my brain, it's two similar tools within the Photoshop set of tools, and yet two different outcomes. I know the way it generates its algorithm is completely different.
Yeah, I think the limitation on content aware is the fact that you need something else in the image for it to be aware from. So if there's a lot of people and very little background without people, then you're going to struggle.
Oh no, yeah, and
So-
but I felt I did leave enough of information around the people, so it wasn't like edge to edge. It was around the people, and I thought, oh, it could see the grass area, so hopefully it could pinpoint the bank and go, oh, I need to continue the grass area across through these people and then fill that out. But it honestly, content aware did not know what to do. But
see, if that was the case, then I'd probably be using something like content aware move rather than content aware fill.
Okay.
And switching over to that tool instead. But like I said, you're using it basically is just an extension of a tool you're already familiar with, aren't you?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah.
As a cosplayer, it's really cool that knowing that you guys can do this, because I mean, we all know how hard it is to find a spot at MCM for photos, right? Like, you've got the infamous grey walls, and there's so many people crowded around there, and trying to get a picture. I mean, everybody knows how hard it is to get a picture without somebody in the background. Like, I seriously thought Eddie was going to rage when he was shooting me at MCM. This guy in a high vis just would not get out of shot, and just every time we thought he moved, he would come back. So we just shifted in the end. We were like, let's turn us rather than turn him. Like, ridiculous.
Exactly.
But knowing that it's so much easier for you guys to edit people out of backgrounds and to do all of that, it opens up so many possibilities of different shoots, and that's really exciting.
Oh, absolutely. Because like, I'm thinking, can I like then select around you and say stick this cosplay? So obviously everyone knows you're the Black Widow cosplayer. Do they say, oh, you're the Black Widow cosplayer? They don't go on Natasha, oh, you're the Black Widow cosplayer. Do they say that now?
I get you're the Black Widow. It's just, yeah.
No, that's fine. So I could like, if I picture a scene from any of the like the Marvel films and say, oh, okay, let's do the castle scene from Age of Ultron. Stick this inside a castled area. You might think, oh, that looks quite well, but you still got to blend the photo so that the model matches the, shall we say, the color or the brightness that color matches with the the background and things like that. And yeah, it's so good, and it's really weird how I'm already improving how I use generative AI. It's not just a simple select this and then go. I'm really meticulously thinking about, oh, I noticed that if my selection line is on the model's body, sometimes the generative AI goes over that and actually does something to maybe the outfit, to the body, and go, oh, okay then. So I actually need to once I make my selection, if the dotted line is on the model, I need to actually contract it a little bit for it to not mess around with the model itself too much. And it's things like that you start noticing and start improving your workflow when using this generative AI. And like I said, I just started to use it on more or less every photo on the Friday photos, which I've just finished now, and I've started on the Saturday one, which, looking at the first batches of photos, I think I've done quite well to actually avoid people, so I should be using less of it on the Saturday photos. But yeah, I was just quite amazed how I got such good results from getting rid of people that bam, I'm like using on subsequent photos.
That video you sent us, it was incredible, like literally a second.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I know how long it takes to remove people from background. Like I use Photoshop at work, like for photo editing, and removing people is the bane of my life.
Oh, so, absolutely. Yeah. So
just to give you, how speedy it was, it's like, whoa, okay.
Yeah. So just to give you context, the picture was a model sat on a stone, like a roadblock, concrete block, and all I did was on the first stage, I went, right, let's remove the people and see what it does. And in the background, there's a crane. So you got that, you got the angle where I'm shooting, and it removed everyone and continued the crane work. I'm not suggesting it was like for like; it was exactly how it was in, as it was in real life. But it did enough for me to make me think, oh wow, that's done a quite a good facsimile of it.
And yeah, it looked realistic. So because sometimes with content aware fill, it will just put a blob over it or something, and it just think, oh no, that's not quite right. I'm going to have to fix the crane now and draw the crane in. But it did actually it did a really good job of actually working out how the crane would have extended. So yeah, that's good.
Absolutely. And I wish I kept. In this sense, I wish I kept it like that. But I went, do you know what? I actually wanted it to look like I said on the main point, like they're sitting on the edge of a building or whatever. So I extended that grey block even further, and again I had to fight a little bit because I can't remember if the toe of the shoe was poking beyond the block, so I had to get around that somehow. And I think I was fighting it. I can't remember how if it looked, but I just remember having a very long argument with myself about this extending this block. But like I said, I would have said in 2-3 clicks, it did exactly what I wanted with the backgrounds. And again, I found that both amazing but scary. How that is, in a sense, I don't know if I'm still debating in my head if this is me making an improvement to the photo or a computer improving the photo, and then I'm just adding my style on top of that. Do you get what I'm saying? That's where I.
Yeah. Well, this is what I was trying to drive through in the main podcast. But you're the driver in the seat of this AI. You're the one deciding what you like and what you don't like, what you want and what changes you want it to make. So it's at the end of the day, okay, it's doing the heavy lifting, but you're the artist. And without you, there's nothing still.
No, absolutely. I've always said, I work in IT, and I've always said this: computers are the smartest, dumbest things on this planet. It can do amazing work. It can do like trillions of calculations a second. Like you said, we're talking about generative AI. It could do all of this, generative work and all that. But until you tell it to do it, it can't do anything. It can't do, and it will until it becomes self-conscious. And for the love of God, if it not let it become Skynet. Let's put it that way.
Well, Skynet already exists in China, don't you? Basically, the Chinese surveillance system is called Skynet.
No way!
I'm not even joking. You can look it up on Google.
Oh my God, I'm out to
anyway.
We've all seen Age of Ultron, guys. We do not want it to become sentient.
But I'll just talk about a different AI which I've been reading about, because I did do a bit of research before coming onto this, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah.
And there's an AI which will go through your photos as you're importing them into your database, something like Lightroom, and it will decide which are your pictures that you need to look at. And it will then deselect or mark down the photos which you shouldn't be looking at. So it's using things like, are the eyes open, or somebody blinking or something? Is the picture got any blur in it? There's lots of different criteria, and it's basically going through your. So if you take going to what's your average number of pictures you take at say MCM or LFCC?
Oh, let's say. Oh God, don't let's not talk about LFCC. Jesus Christ, LFCC was 0. That's okay. An easy one. I would say about 3,000 photos, and I've got.
And how many of those 3,000 would you actually edit?
Yes, and I've got it down to about 120, let's say.
And how long do you spend going through that 3,000 to work out which 120 you're going to do?
More than I really want to admit, because
So if an AI can do all that stage for you and work out which are the best photos, or ones which are going to, from all of the ones you've taken, that is, huge time saving. Now, it's not in that using much of your creative input. And it's not changing the pictures at all. It's just literally another tool to make your life easier and quicker.
Yeah, no.
So I don't think it's all about the finished image. It's about what can these AIs do for you.
Yeah, because I don't know if it was you that was telling me this or someone else telling me this, but on the same vein of like it can pick the photos from your style, it'll also then edit the photos in your style as well. And I think that I don't know how I feel about that. Like it's like I think for me that kind of crosses the line about how, where generative AI should then end.
It depends what you are and what you're doing, because if it's a case of, say, you're a wedding photographer, so you're going along to a wedding. You're taking, say, 3,000 photos. That's what you just said about MCM, and at the end of the day, you've got to deliver, a couple of hundred images to the bride and groom in a week's time, and it will have a particular style and look to all of those images. If you can use an AI tool to go through, cull the pictures and apply your style to those images and get them uploaded to a gallery for the couple to look at, then hey, that certainly made your life a lot quicker and easier.
Oh, 100%, yeah. I want to bring Alex on to this. How much would you trust AI or generative AI to like pick the right photo that you pose for the photographer?
I think I would. I think, like you say, to remove blurriness or like eyes open, things like that. Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, as a cosplayer, I'm always grateful for any images I get back. So, you know.
Are you just saying as long as you get photos back, you'll be happy?
Pretty much, yeah. I'm very easy to please.
So you're saying if generative AI could help just speed up the process of you getting photos back? Hang on, are we going to go back to the day now when people expect photos to be done within days now because of generative AI?
God. Could you imagine? Like,
a lot of people still expect that, Eddie. It hasn't gone away.
No, it's very true, very true. I'm very lucky that I don't get many messages from people that said, "Excuse me, where are my photos? It's been 3 months. I want my photos now." So.
Yeah, but we still used to get that when you're still at the event and you haven't gone home yet.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, hey, you took my photo this morning. Can I have it now, please?
We're shooting tomorrow. Can my photos now, please? It's like, what?
Well, it's a case of you took at least 20 pictures. Why have I only got 3? Because the other 17 are exactly the same, but not so good.
And
I remember you
blurry.
did that for me on the same day, Eddie, though, once. I think it was Sunday on MCM.
He's setting a sort of...
No, okay, all right. Because I knew distinctly when I saw that photo how I wanted it edited it, and I was so excited because I didn't want to lose any aspect of that thought to disappear. I thought if I do it now, I get like a rough guy, but I end up just going further and further, and just like felt that yes. I
was still at con, and you sent me the image, and I was like, Eddie, I haven't even left yet. This is incredible. You're crazy.
I had a spare, I thought, half an hour, to do that image. So yeah, but I still think to this day the re-edited version of that photo is much better than the one I sent you at Comic-Con.
Yeah, you can tell you've definitely improved.
Oh god, yeah. Oh god, I keep saying this. I don't know why did anyone shoot with me. Like the previous 7 years I've been doing cosplay photography. Like the last 3 or 4 years, I feel like I've really improved. But the first 7, I'm like, how the fuck did I get anyone to work with me? I wish I had generative AI at that point to help me edit photos. Oh, jeez. No.
But actually, it's a good question, though, because we're all getting better.
Yes.
Because we're learning more and we're developing new skills. But will generative AI mean that new people coming along and starting photography won't be learning those skills?
That's a very good question. Something we should have mentioned in the main part. But it's a bit late now. No, I can bring it. Yeah, go on, Alex.
No, I was just saying, damn.
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 No, exactly.
Should have been already.
Should have been no, but that's fine. No, I mean, it's actually quite interesting because, like, if I go back to my IT background, it's like I find it weird when people don't know certain things, which I think, why don't you know this? It should be basic, but I think, hang on, we have gone from like typewriter to a full size PC, with just text on screen. Then we had a mouse and things like that, and then all of a sudden we're now down to a small phone. And people only use a phone now for everything. Store photos, send, receive messages, watch films, listen to podcasts, things like that. And, I've had people who try to be on my podcast said, oh, I haven't got a computer, I've only got a phone. I'm like, how the fuck have you only got a phone? But people are so used to that technology being in their hand. And then I think, oh, they don't understand a printer because they've probably not used printing or how to send printing to our print, and it's like for me simple set, and I just think, how the fuck have you gone through life not knowing this?
Is it bad that I've still got a typewriter that I did my BTEC in business and finance on?
Yes and no.
I'm just that old. I've still got it, and like I said, I did do my whole of my BTEC in business and finance on an actual mechanical typewriter.
but you can always go back to that typewriter.
Well, I've still got it. Yeah, I've never got rid of it. I don't have. Whether I could get an ink ribbon for it, I don't know. Probably not.
Probably somewhere.
Probably.
I better not use you, Alex, as an example. But if you gave it to a youngster and said, "Go type away," I bet they get confused.
I have a typewriter.
No, that's why I didn't want to use you. That's why I said I don't want to use you. I was going to use someone else. But that's what I'm saying. Is like, I feel like Yeah, I feel like we're like you said, the generational advances. I think has slowed down because of. I'll put it in this term: the advancement of mobile technology. And I think mobile technology has taken something away of human progress, in my opinion, at the moment.
Do you think people are learning less skills because they've got technology to replace their own skills? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yes is the answer. No, honestly, I genuinely because, like I said, there are some students I just speak to, and I just think, how have you gone life? They're not like certain pleasantries. They don't say hello anymore, and I just think, how do you not say hello to someone when you walk into a room? And think, wait, they're probably part of that. Part of the reasons I will say is part of the COVID situation, but I think social media, you don't when you start a conversation, you don't say hello. You just start blurting out what you want, and if you don't have anything to say, you just keep quiet. And I can half see that in real life now, that they walk into the room not thinking I need to be, I don't know, start with pleasantries and things like that. So that question about will generative AI help or hinder progress with either current editors or newcomers, that's going to be really interesting. I think that's going to be something to look out for. Yeah.
There was an interesting thing I saw the other day as well, is that earlier on this year, the Professional Photo magazine, newsstand magazine here in the UK, had a cover, and the title was "The Man Who Never Was," because the cover for this magazine was a black and white photo completely made up by Midjourney, not a real person.
Oh, jeez.
And that was the cover of the Professional Photo magazine.
Oh, wow.
So it just shows, because you look at that picture and you'd have absolutely no way to tell, is this a real photo? Is it not? It's getting so good.
Hasn't Marvel come under fire because their Secret Invasion opening credits is all AI generated apparently? And watching it, you just think it's done by an artist. Clearly it's not meant to be people, like photographic people, but I just thought, oh, somebody's painted Samuel L. Jackson, and no.
I think I did read it. It was generative AI, and I looked at it and I did think, oh, that's weird. But now hearing it, I think, oh, I can see that now. But for me, it could have been either way, that Secret Invasion intro. And it's so interesting.
It's going to be great to follow this, isn't it, in the future, and see exactly where it goes, and what I'm more interested really to see what controls and things like that have to be put in place about it, because I do find, yes, I'm looking forward to using it as a tool, but I'm also equally finding a bit scary about what people could do with it.
Oh, absolutely, and it'd be really interesting to hear this podcast in a year's time and see where generative AI has then become if that makes sense, in the future, in 12 months from now. And I like you said, it's a fascinating subject to me right now. Yeah. And I think on that note, I think we should end the podcast extra. So guys, thank you very much for chatting a little bit longer about this. And guys, thanks for listening. Whoever listens to this, let me know. Just have an idea. If you listen to this extra on Patreon or wherever, go to the Patreon page, just put a robot icon into the comment section so I know you've listened to this part, up to this part of the podcast. And on that note, see you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.